The K Plus Podcast live and direct. The K Plus Podcast is in full effect. How are y'all doing today? It has been a little minute. It's been a while since I did a solo show. It's been a while. It's just been me and you guys. It's been a minute. Um, I think the last solo show I did was like last year. I think around the same time last year was my last solo show. I think it was episode 9, I think. But it's been a minute. Y'all just got me. Y'all just got me today. Just me and you guys. Real intimate things going on here. Just me and you guys. But we're gonna have a good show regardless. Hope everyone having a good day. Hope everyone having a blessed day. Hope everybody, doing cool. Hope everybody, just doing well and so forth. Life's good. Can't complain. Cannot complain at all. Actually, just a fun fact. Recently I've been on a little bit of a running beat recently. I did 2 5Ks within the last month, give or take, like 2 5Ks. It's pretty good, pretty interesting experience. I used to run track in high school, if you didn't know, captain on the team when I was a senior. Um, so yeah, the 5K it was interesting. I would say running is probably one of the most difficult sports to do, and I would say that because all the other sports you could kind of start and stop. Running, you can't stop to walk, but you don't really want to stop. It's like, you're tired, but you got to keep going. Your legs hurting, you got to keep moving. Cramping up, you got to keep moving. I respect running, really and truly. The 5Ks I did well. I shot to do at least within 30 minutes and 59 seconds. That was my goal for the two last 5Ks I did. I did both in 29 minutes. So thank God, I put in the work. And I had a training arc. I was really out there training. Really and truly out there training. Um, I would say so 5Ks is approximately 3.09, 3.11 miles per se. So I've been doing my little training, running and so forth. And it's interesting because one of the hardest type of races, like so I did certain miles to train. So one day I would run like 1.5 or a 2.5 or a 2 and so forth. The 2.5 mile run is my hardest run. I don't know why I feel like the 2.5 is more difficult than the 3. Because it's like getting to the 2.5 is already hard. But when you're already at the 2.5 to the 3 is like ain't really much left to go. You dang near done. So it's like finish it out strong. But yeah, that's what I've been doing and so forth. But just a little word to give to people, try something new, try something different, go out there and push yourself. Give it all you got. You check, don't, give it all you got. Try something new and so forth. There's a lot of things in this world to do. Try to be a little open minded and, test yourself. Be the best you could be in all you could do and go from there. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been dealing with. So can't complain. I retired now though. I retired now for the year. We ain't doing no more 5Ks for the year. At least running them. That's it. That's it. Let me get back in the gym and run some ball and thing. But that's it. I'll probably do like 1 to 2 5Ks a year, give or take, 1 or 2. You feel me? Um, Nothing more than that. I ain't doing no 10K. I know some of my friends do the 10K. I don't love running that much. I think 5K is fine. Shout out to the people who do half marathons and marathons. Shout out to them. David Goggins, them one, big up because hey, I don't know. But yeah. Today we're gonna talk a little NBA. We're gonna talk a little NBA. If you know me, you know I love NBA. You know I love basketball and so forth. Back in the day, I used to have a little sports show. Whoever don't know and so forth. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little NBA today. Season been going on for approximately a little over a month. It's been real crazy. A lot of 50-point games. A lot of big games so far. This season been nice so far. If I say so myself, the season been really nice. Can't even complain about how the season going. So first off, I just wanna just mention, for those who don't know, I am a diehard Brooklyn Nets fan. I believe I mentioned that on one of my first episodes when I started this show, but I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan for those who don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a struggle the past couple years to be a Brooklyn Nets fan. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time where I wanted to jump teams. I can't, but I didn't do it. I did not fold. I did not fold. Sometimes the team playing so garbage, man. You just, boy, you wish to pick someone else because Right now, as we stand, actually, let me double check that because I believe the numbers change. So this is Friday. I'm recording this now. Y'all should have this out by Saturday. So the numbers, whatever I say today, may be a little different by a game or two. But I believe we are 2-12 at this current point. 2-12. It took us like 7 games to win one. We was like 0-7 or 0-9, some ridiculous number. But we're 2-12 now. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't. It hurts me every time. This is probably the worst start we had in a decade. Worst start we probably had in a decade. 2-12. 2-12. At least we have a better record than the Wizards, who are 1-13 at this point. But 2-12. That's all we could muster. Listen, I mean, we had some big teams pass by that just issues. 13-14 season, we had D. Will, Joe Johnson, Brook Lopez, Pearson Garnett, even though Pearson Garnett was in their later years. We had a big team. Brook Lopez broke his foot, that kind of halted the championship aspiration and so forth. A couple years later, we got Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. We have probably 3 of some of the best offensive weapons in history, and we still couldn't get it done. Literally because KD's shoe size was an inch bigger than it should be. Literally. If y'all remember that Nets Bucks series where KD dropped like 49, 48, and 49 in 3 straight games. He dropped those numbers. We thought it was a 3, it was a 2. Anytime that shot KD had shot at the end of the 4th quarter was a 3-pointer, we was winning the chip. Because the Hawks wasn't stopping us. And the Suns wasn't stopping us. Granted, James Harden and Kyrie was kind of injured in and out of that series as well. That time passed. The next season, got swept in the playoffs. The season after that, with Mikal Bridges, then we got swept. I can't speak. Swept. Broomsticks by the Celtics. No, by the Sixers after the season where we were swept by the Celtics. And haven't really made the playoffs since. It's sad. I can't, I wish this trying to make a super team business it's not working out. And I don't want them to do it again. I really don't. I really don't want Brooklyn to do it again. Right now we have some solid pieces though. We have Michael Porter Jr., who's a good scorer. We have Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas gonna be something in this league. Only thing is his injuries. I don't think he's ever played a 70-plus season game, give or take. He's injured right now for a couple weeks, so that's going to hurt us and so forth. We got to go play Nick Claxton. Big up to Nick Claxton. I think he's the longest playing net right now. He's been with us since the 1920 season. Center, essentially. His pops is from the Virgin Islands, so big him up as well. He got Virgin Islands in his blood. So big up Nick Claxton and all them, man. He plays real well. I think he's playing really good. I think he has the biggest contract on the team right now, but he's playing really well. So shout out to Nick Claxton and so forth. But yeah, man, we're playing like butt, man. All I want is for us to be consistent, at the very least, consistently relevant. That's what I asked him for. Can I get some consistent relevancy in the Brooklyn Nets? Can I get that? 2-12, that's how we're going to start. I mean, it's a long season. We have plenty of time to get to it. We're like what? Right now we're like 6 spots out of the 10 spot for playing. Things could change. Things happen. We may get back up there, but the start is just, it's ridiculous. It's heartbreaking. I can't take it. But yeah. But just to tell people, don't be a bandwagon. Don't do it. I don't care how garbage a team is, do not be a bandwagon. Do not be a bandwagon. Because I know man back in the day who used to be Warriors and Cavs fan at the same time. How? No. I ain't a bandwagon. And it's funny. And this is how I picked the Nets, just as a backstory. My father is a Celtics fan. My father loves Larry Bird. Absolutely loves Larry Bird. By rights. So, when I started watching basketball, it was like I was kind of rooting for Celtics just because he was. When it's like, let me pick my own team. Pierce Garnett came over to the Nets, and I'd be like, I'll pick the Nets. And I've been with him ever since. We had some good years, some good games, some bad games, some great players passed through here. But Yeah, I just need us to be relevant again at the very least. At the very least. But it's okay. In time, we shall get there. In very much time, we shall get there. The Pistons are number one in the East. Side note, aside from that, the Pistons are number one in the East. That's interesting, seeing how, it's a lot. I kind of get to that, a little later down in the show, but the Pistons are number one in the East and so forth. Right now, segueing from the Nets a little bit, I want to talk about a particular player. I want to talk a little bit about Ja Morant. Um, I don't know what's going on with Ja Morant, guys. He so far this season, he is way below his numbers. He right so far the games he's played, he's not been playing well. He's not really been playing well. Right now he's averaging like 17 points a game and he's shooting 35% from the field. 35. That's a 10% drop from last season. That's kind of atrocious, John Morant. But hold on now. Aside from that, let me just say with John Morant is an incredible talent. John Morant is a great talent. But I don't know, this season, his field goal percentage is lower, his points per game is lower. I don't know what's going on. And this he's been, having issues with his coaches. I think he just looks frustrated playing out there. Whoever is a Grizzly fan and so forth. I don't know what's going on with him. I remember a time, like couple 2 3 years ago. I remember a time when we were saying that Ja Morant, we was talking about Ja Morant being the face of the NBA. Y'all remember those times? Do y'all remember those days? It's not too long ago. It's not too long ago at all. He was in the conversation, or damn near the one we was trying to say who would be the face of the NBA. And then, the stuff with the guns and so forth, the two incidences with the guns, which is still sucks, but, it happened and so forth. All the hand signs and all this stuff is like, all that, is kind of working against him. And, look, now he's injured too. I think he's going to be out for a couple of weeks with a calf strain or something like that. So now I'm trying to question now, is he trying to force his way out of Memphis? Is he trying to leave Memphis? The way he's playing, it kind of seems like that's kind of like what he wants to do. But I don't think he really wants to leave Memphis per se. I don't know if he wants a coach fired or something like that. I think he wants to stay and play for Memphis. John Morant, two-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. Like, Memphis loves him. I believe and trust that Memphis does love him and so forth. But he's just not playing well. I mean, it's 35% from the field and shooting at least 17 a night. I mean, the points per game is lower and the field goal percentage is way lower. And I don't know. John Morant, he himself never played a season that was 70 plus games up to yet. He had suspensions for the gun stuff, injuries that came by. He barely played the last 3 years. So it is I don't want to say it's sad. Do I think he's out his prime? Hell no. He's like 26 years old. He is not out his prime. He has a lot more years to give. He's not out his prime. I don't know. And the thing is, like I said, I don't believe he's forcing his way out of Memphis. But even if he is trying to force a trade, what teams is going to take a John Morant? You know what I'm saying? What teams are going to want to deal with all the baggage of his past and so forth. Your past doesn't define you. I get it. But in situations like this when money's involved, they kind of do. I would say Bucks could use a point guard, but their point guard, I think their point guard's playing a little solid. So I don't know what I want Brooklyn to trade for John Morant. Personally, no. Because like I said, every time we try to bring some superstar in, it never works out to how we want it, and they leave within 2 3 years. Every single time. Every time. That's what I can't stand about Brooklyn. We always try to go for the superstar, then they leave. Let's side note. Let's build the team from the bottom up. It's going to be tough because there are going to be a couple losing seasons, but let's build a team from the bottom up. So I don't think we should go with John Morant. But What y'all think? Y'all drop it in the comments if y'all think John Morant's trying to force a way out of Memphis. I don't believe so, and he's not trash. But yeah, like he was in the talks for face of the NBA. John Morant, like he was dunking on people. He was playing great. Like that 2 year run he had, and then the injuries and the gun stuff. It'd be stuff like that, man. I wish he never got involved in that. I really did it. I wish he just, at least after the first time, I wish he never that never occurred again. I really do, but whatever. It happened already, so we just got to move on from there. But even the Grizzlies are not playing up to par. I think they're playing. I think they're like 4-11. And I'm gonna double check on my little standings here. Yep, they're 5-11. So they're not too far from a playing spot, but let's see how they start to play up after all of this and so forth. But no, John Morant, yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know. I really hope that he could, try to like pick it back up. But if we see him traded this season, I'm not going to be shocked. It'll be interesting where he ends up and what the Grizzlies get for him. But, only time will tell. So, John Morant, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I don't really want to I don't like, talking bad about players per se, because sometimes I feel we forget that these NBA players are also human. They're men just like me. They're men. They have their own stuff going on at home. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So I extend a little grace towards that and so forth. But in terms of on the field, it's like we got to step it up. We got to step it up. But only time will tell. We'll go from there. I also today want to just talk about the defending champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're 15-1 right now. 15-1. Best record in the NBA right now. 15-1. They're playing like the champs. They got the MVP. And the crazy thing is also they have this great record without their second best player playing Jalen Williams right now. It's a little scary that they're doing this without their second best player. Was there some close games? Absolutely. But a win is a win. So there's some talks and there's some stuff going on social media that OKC is slated and possibly can go 77-5. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Initially, no. Not to hate on the Thunder. I don't hate the Thunder at all. But 77-5. Listen, when the Warriors went 73-9, it was crazy. They had like a 24-0 start to their season. 72-10 was crazy. MJ and the Bulls. 73-9 was even crazier. Now, for a team to go not just better than the Warriors' record, but to go about 4 games better than the Warriors. Not just 1 game, 4 games better than the Warriors. That's a crazy stat line to have. 77-5. My goodness. That'll be insane. Do I think the Thunder will do it? I don't know, because we have a lot of good teams in the NBA today. A lot of good teams in the West. The Lakers are playing well and so forth. And I'm going to talk about another thing with them as well. They're playing so well. I mean, I feel like last year, they won 68 games. So it's like 77 is just 9 plus more games. They may have a 70-win season. I would say they may go 70-12. I would say they may go 70-12. That's my guess. Y'all drop in the comments if y'all think they're going to beat the Warriors' record. I think they'll go 70-12. I'll give them that. But if they go 77-5 or 74-8, I wouldn't be too shocked, because they're a good team. They have the MVP. They have some great role players as well. They got Chet and Hartstein and them boys, Jalen Williams. They got a real good team. They're the champs. They are the champions. They got a really good team. And like, but 15-1. That's a tough record. Can't give them no wrong. And even so, they may have the best record, but even aside from that, let's just go into let's go into the postseason talks a little bit. There has not been a back-to-back champion since 2018 Warriors. For the past 7 years, there has not been a back-to-back champion. 2019, the Raptors. 2020, the Lakers. 2021, the Bucks. 2022, the Warriors. 2023, the Nuggets. 2024, the Celtics. 2025, the Thunder. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was Lakers, Celtics, Bulls back to back. I don't think the Celtics back to back in the 80s though. Lakers, Bulls, Rockets back to back somewhere in the 90s. The Lakers did in this decade, in this century. The Lakers did. Miami did it. Warriors, but like I don't know, because there's a lot of good teams out there that can win it. Look at last year. Look how close. And yes, the Thunder did win. Look how close the Pacers got. What the Pacers did last year is damn near supernatural. What Tyrese Halliburton pulled off, probably one of the greatest playoff runs we have seen in history. I'm saying it. One of the greatest playoff runs in NBA history. And just absolutely shattered by Tyrese's injury in Game 7 of the finals, to which he was going crazy in that first quarter. And we have to make the honest argument, or even say the Pacers were going to win that damn game if Tyrese played the whole game healthy. The Pacers was winning. Y'all could argue with whoever. Y'all and Thunder fans, hey, the Pacers was winning that game. Because look, the game was still competitive without Tyrese Halliburton. That guy, I forgot his name. It's not Naismith. McDonald. What's his name? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now because I know his name. Wait. Hold on. Bear with me, please. I know. I can't believe I forgot his name. I can't. TJ McConnell. How could I forget? That guy in that third quarter was going crazy. But not to get too distracted, but that's what I'm saying. Look how close the Pacers got to beating the best team in the NBA at the time. We have a lot of good teams now. There's teams like the Knicks. The Pistons are playing real well. The Rockets, with their big lineup, KD, Sengun, them, Amen Thompson, them. Lakers, can't forget Lakers, Luka. You know what I'm saying? Wolves could do something, and so forth. So there's a lot of good teams out there. There's a lot of good teams out there. So and my thing is, I don't think it's going to be a back-to-back champion for a long time. I think it's going to be a couple more years before we get a back-to-back champion, because there's so much teams that can. It's one thing in the regular season. In the playoffs, you got to see that team multiple times, and there's a lot of good teams out there, man. So I don't know, because like the Knicks. Like I said, the Knicks, the Cavs, if they pick it up and so forth. The Raptors are playing well now too. But if there is to be a back-to-back champion, though, it's going to be the Thunder. That might be the next dynasty. On one hand, it's like I don't think there'll be a back-to-back champion for a little while. But I do believe that the Thunder can win 2 more championships in this era. I believe this team can win about 2 more championships. I believe so, because they're such a damn good team. They're such a damn good team, man. Like I said, God forbid any injuries, anything crazy. They can win a couple more championships. But I just I don't see a back to back, because the NBA now is crazy. There's teams could just absolutely put on a show and just change the whole dynamic of a season. You see what I'm saying? So if the Thunder wins the chip this year, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm not going to be really angry. I always root for the underdog for some reason. My pops always taught me to root for the underdog. 9 times out of 10, it works, unless something crazy happened like last year. I was rooting for the Pacers, and then Tyrese. A lot of ACL injuries. Dame, Kyrie, man, these dang ACLs, man. But yeah, that's my thought. on the NBA so far, OKC, 77-5. I don't know. Drop in the comments what record you think they end up having. Um, I'm giving them 70-12. That's what I'm giving them. Not to hate on them, but I just doing better than 73-9 is crazy. If they do better, I won't be mad. But if they do like 70-12, 69-13, that's kind of like where I'm giving them and so forth. John Morant, gotta lock in, bro. Gotta lock in. We love you. People love John Morant. Just try to, well, hope everything's going well and so forth. But I don't. We'll, like I said, time will tell. Season's still early. There's a long season ahead, and we'll see how it goes from there. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more content. I got some stuff in the works now. I got a lot of stuff planned and so forth. Also, don't forget, we're trying to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. We're in the last 10 days of November, essentially. It's almost 2026. Let's try to get 100 subs by 2026. You think we could do that? You think that's possible? Tell a friend to tell a friend. I got lots of content. I got shorts, videos, and all of that. So let's try to reach this goal. And hey, if we don't reach it, we're going to keep striving for it. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. I can't speak. Peace. Have a blessed day.